It's time to look at the past. In this case, Star Force 2D engine's past, because I'm going to be looking at the earliest build of the engine that still exists. It is dated February 17th of 2020, just under 2 weeks after I started development, and it also predates the build seen in the first public video by close to 10 days, I think. About a week. So starting with the sprite section, one thing I tend to do a lot in my projects is to have like sprite sheets, entire sprite sheets here, so I could just pull from them when I need to, and they'll already be in the project. I'm sure this is probably common, but it's just something that I always like to do. And I just wanted to talk about this. So, in the really early development stages of the engine, I completely misremembered what angle the diagonal walls were. So I just flat out drew this and then realized this needs to be about half that. Except when you're going up and down stairs. Like this was good for stairs, but it wasn't good for like the regular diagonal walls. So yeah, I had to redo that when I imported Echo Ridge, which was shortly after this build actually. I had actually imported a bunch of these in advance. Like most of these are not used yet. I think a couple of these didn't actually start getting used until pretty late in the development. Like the punch here, I believe I didn't use this until way later. Imported the stun knuckle and freeze knuckle and poison knuckle. In fact, only 2 battle cards actually function in this build. And now, the original logo for the game. 2D engine wasn't an idea in my head yet, so I just put demo. Very original idea of me. Now in the sounds department, once again, there's more resources that I imported in advance but didn't use yet. Actually, early on, I used the dimming sound from Mega Man Battle Network since I couldn't get my hands on the Star Force one yet. That wouldn't come until later. Pretty late in development, actually. And here's the barrier sound. I don't think barrier wasn't a thing until quite a bit later, actually. I thought that was the actual like guard, but there it is right here. That I don't believe that. I don't believe that the guard functions in this build yet. In terms of backgrounds, there's what's the? Oh yeah, this is the battle background, the original battle background. Still used in the 0.9 actually. Yeah, there was this, and that's it. No, there are no real overworld areas in this build. Man, it is different. It hits different seeing so few scripts here compared to the final 0.9. Like 0.9 has like over 100 scripts. Something like that. A couple of particular ones I wanted to look into was this one. Oh man, only 4 lines of code. Oh, this is the damage. This is the script that damages an enemy, and man, this is it. This is so small compared to what the script would become. Oh, attack plus 10 should actually function in this. Yeah, here's the code for it. I I would simplify this. I'm pretty sure I simplified this later on to not be so. Yeah. Okay, so this timeline right here. This was the way I originally did the dialogue in this engine. I believe there are remnants of this in 0.9, but here is when it was actually being used like this. So basically, yeah, but the TLDR is I originally used timelines to do to handle some of the dialogue box work, and I realized, yeah, there is a much better way I can do this. So I did just that. Oh god. Oh god. That formatting. I'm so glad I fixed that later. Ugh. There's actually a couple of commented out uh, debug strings. Okay, so another difference from this build to 0.9. In the screen fades, I would originally freeze the game by using this. I would use the Game Maker Sleep, but I wanted this engine to be more easily importable into Studio One. So what I did was that later on I modified the engine to rely a lot less on functions that are deprecated in Studio One, and sleep is one of those functions that is deprecated in Studio One. Okay, so the battle player's code is uh, so there was a lot of unnecessary extra here. Oh boy, like using this a lot, using ah, come on, okay, using this a lot, using this a lot, just ew stuff that I fixed up later. And now onto the rooms. Now this isn't the final 0.9, but this was originally created. This room was originally created to test the battle system more easily. I just jumped to this room and bam, battle system. But as I integrated it in with the overworld, well, part somewhat in this build, I didn't need this anymore. I believe it still works if you jump to this room in the 0.9. It's just gonna run into an error after you complete the battle, though, since it expects there to be a room underneath. And here's the original test room, and it's in the earliest surviving incarnation. Yeah. So here's the story about this. I had misremembered what walls were supposed to be angled. So they turned out like this. But when I imported Echo Ridge, I realized, oh no, this is not how. And I had already programmed it around these wall angles. Now, the original code sucked anyway, like, ugh. But I think so I had to heavily rework it to get it to work again after I like fixed up the angles to be the same. And then but after I fixed the wall angles, this was not a connected piece anymore. It was just not. It was all broken up, and I just left it like that because, well, why not? Yeah, this room actually does have a couple of extra things in Final 0.9. In fact, I left in a way to access it without using the room warp or any other methods. I wonder if anyone has found it. Alright, so it's time to play it. No Star Force font for the press start yet. Very basic title screen. And everything is just... These animations are so out of whack for the moment. I forget, does this stuff actually work? Well, it actually does. But I have to scrap this incarnation of it because it was wrong. Like, these angle walls are for stairs, not normal walls. And it's also very inaccurate, as you can see, because the player shadow is actually the hitbox. I don't know if that's the case in the original game still, but that's how I did it. Other than that, there's the dialogue test. Yeah, it doesn't like appear and disappear, it just pops in and out. That was actually the first functional part of the engine. So yeah. Other than that, the only thing that's really to see here is battles, so there is no random encounter stuff here. I just have to press enter. Wait, it's not enter? Oh, I forgot about this. This was when I press shift. Nice job, past me. I forgot how to start a battle. Oh, yeah. I have to press enter while transform. I forget stuff about my own engine. I'm spoiled by just like the battle starter that I programmed for 0.9, where I just jump into a battle without having to transform. So, once again, Mega Man's animations are very out of whack. This will eventually be fixed. So, let's get into a battle. Oh, I can actually destroy this Medar. Come on. Yeah. Except, the battles can't end once they start yet. It hasn't been programmed. Like, end this. Like, you can still shoot the crud out of the enemy. For the moment. This card doesn't work, so I'll still do it anyway. Yeah, that card doesn't work. I know, but there is still the concept of a folder here, so I'll just intentionally run out all the cards and show. So yeah. I forget, does this work? It doesn't. I hadn't programmed dimming cards yet, but that was the card to use to like test that functionality. Okay. One last thing, because I forgot about it. Because it's in this build where the original incarnation of the battle card Lockout is present here. Look at that monster. I just hadn't learned yet. I was still fresh off of my Mega Man X4 engine with its garbage code. And there was still remnants of this creeping into the early builds of this engine. But yeah, I completely scrapped this and rewrote it. Not too long later. It was within a month or something after that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. If you want to download this build to play around with yourself for historical purposes, just for fun, I'll actually leave a link to this build of the engine in the description. So I thought, I would show this little piece of Star Force 2D engine history.